Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Fatback 4 Daily. This is a show for a Wednesday night after Liverpool have beaten Arsenal 5-4 on penalties in a League Cup game, which, to be quite honest, was bizarre and absolutely outrageous from the very start, and it's the game I enjoyed most this season. This podcast is brought to you by Paddy Power, a bookies, a website and app. If you gamble, please gamble with Paddy Power and do so responsibly. With me tonight, I have Indy and I have Damo, and we're going to have a look over this for the next 30 to 40 minutes. Damo, I'm going to come to you first. That was just outrageous from start to finish.
Do you know what? I hate these Carabao Cup games, especially when you see the lineup coming in. But my God, both teams really had a bit of a ding dong there tonight. And do you know what? When Divock scored the winner or the equaliser there, I was shouting as much as I was shouting when he got the winner against Barcelona when he got the 4th goal. It kind of got to that stage. I was that embroiled in the game where normally these games are kind of a muchness. You don't really buy into them too much. If you win, you win. You don't. But like that was just a wow factor tonight. It was brilliant for the fans. I have to say.
People are flying in here with comments. Cop80 says happy days. Barry Carr said he's breathless. It was exhilarating. Max Oaken says hi Gav. Hi Max, how are you? Barry Carr says his voice is gone. He can't come on. He wouldn't be able to come on the pod tonight even if I asked him. Super Al, he says hi as well. So there's plenty of people there that are ready for comments. Indy, you said to me before this podcast, it was one of those games that you could actually just relax and watch given the circumstances, but it just threw up every single bit of entertainment it could, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I got nervous at the end because of the shootout, obviously. I always get my adrenaline, but I ran from the pub afterwards, so I'll get rid of that adrenaline. But I wasn't having a heart attack every time they come forward like usual. I mean, even if they get like a corner in like a league game, because we genuinely can't afford to concede in the title race. So I just have a heart attack. But now, even when they're through on goal, it's just like watching a FIFA game. It's just fun, just like entertaining. Yeah.
It was just so entertaining. You know, Damo, you look at the lineup, he goes with Kelleher in goal, he starts Milner at left back, Nico Williams plays right back, he has Van der Berg and Joe Gomez, he goes with Lallana, Keita, Chamberlain, he goes with Brewster, he goes with Elliott, and he goes with Origi. A really young side, probably barred midfield, probably down the left-hand side, but when you see the lineup, Damo, where you're like, oh yeah, I'll have a bit of this, because Arsenal went a bit stronger than us and continued to strengthen as the game went on, I thought.
I was slightly worried about what the team that we named. I thought they would be a little bit stronger than us with the team that they named. They seem to have a lot more experience. And what my fear was although we were okay in midfield with a bit of experience and with Milner out of the back, I just felt that centre-back and maybe right full and the keeper might have been a little bit susceptible. I didn't think there was any natural leaders in there. And like Gomez is probably the senior centre-half in there. And he kind of needs his hand held a little bit when he's a centre-half as well. So that I was a little bit fearful. And I did feel we conceded a few goals tonight. Didn't think we conceded 5. But listen, it was a great game for the spectators and the public to watch tonight. And so I'm still kind of trying to get my big fat head around it. And that's quite a hard thing to do. It was just an excellent game, but it's great to see that Klopp has invested in the youth, and regardless of result tonight, he was going to put out a team that was full of kids basically, and it was great to see when you go and you look at Chelsea and United playing tonight, they're nearly at full strength both sides, and it's great to see that we're at the stage now where we're putting out complete weakened sides in the Carabao Cup because we can. And the one thing I said, I didn't want to see us go out tonight because I want to see these lads go on and progress and get another game into them. And if they didn't get a result tonight, it probably would have been very hard for them all to get another game in under their belt and more experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now we have another game under the belt for them lads, and that'll be a big plus in their development tonight.
Absolutely.
Can I just make a point about the team?
Of course you can.
Do you reckon we'll play this in the final if like all the way? Would you guys just carry on with this youth team?
I think he might. I genuinely think he might. I think if we come around to February when this final is, if Liverpool are still hunting Champions League and top of the league and looking for this elusive league title, I think he might. There's so many comments coming in here. I missed that girl's name, Christina French. Sorry, she says the Couple of tackles from Brewster in the lead up to the fourth, she absolutely loved. Maverick says, oh my God, that's what we were talking about. Mentality joins, attitudes filter down to the young guns. I'm going to get onto that later. It's a great point. Christine again says, Arsenal forced offside. Second one was a legal take and a Milner gift. Yeah, they did. We kind of gave them a lot of what they got tonight. Maverick, Liverpool gifted Arsenal the first half and they still won with teenagers. Absolutely brilliant. Let me see. But yeah, no, just staying on that, Indy. I think he will. I think, Damo, do you agree? Do you think if we get around to, like, it is February, I think, when this competition wraps up, and if we were to get through a quarter final, I think the draw is on tonight. But if we get a decent draw and manage to get into a semi-final, and we're in a Champions League and we're still going for that and we're still hunting down this Premier League title, I think he will, Damo. I think he'll just go, no, you've got to take this far, keep going.
I'd probably beg to differ. I think what we might say, well, depending what there's 2 League One sides left in the draw. I think for the quarters, you would hope to get one of them and get them at home, and maybe you can get these lads another link under their belt. I think if we get a sniff of a semi-final, I definitely think you'll add maybe 2 or 3 more season pros into it. I think Van Dijk might come in, Fabinho, something along that lines, or even Adrian or. What's his name? Allison will come into the side. The closer we get to the final, I think he'll strengthen that side up a little bit more and a little bit more. And although the lads will get us to the final, I think he might cut maybe 2 or 3 of them, and he might load 2 or 3. There's no way we play a side as kind of weakens there if we're in a semi or a final. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think once the silverware there, he'll go for it.
Yeah, Super Al says Jurgen's on Sky. If you want to go and record that while you're watching this way more important podcast, you're absolutely welcome to. Northred says we're winning away. How bad must you be? We're winning away. Love that Arsenal chant. But you see, the thing for me was Arsenal kept improving their side as they brought on changes. Strengthening where we brought on, like Chiravella comes
Pedro.
on, Jones comes on. So we were giving the lads a good chance. Christina reckons they will give the kids the chance to win it because it'd be unfair not to. I tend to agree with that, and I look, if they were to get to a semi and got beaten, I think it's still a great experience for them, and it does give players games that you wouldn't usually. Ben Webb says, good evening, lads. Genuinely good evening, lads.
Good evening.
Yeah, the excitement has really got to Ben, and he's changed his B's, or he's changed his V's for his B's. He's added a load of S's onto lads as well, which we're absolutely all over. Adam Petruccione, as and my favourite name to watch this podcast says, plus the World Club Cup. What he means by that is that the backup of fixtures and stuff. I just have a feeling after that tonight, they've done Klopp really, really proud, and it's one of those where he just goes to him, yeah, go ahead. And someone made a point there earlier. This looks like it's Pep Linders. This looks like it's Pep Linders kind of team and competition. You never know. Klopp could be giving him a good run at it. And Maverick says he's going to join Paul OG after this. I know what happened there. Paul is off to watch Arsenal Fan TV. I'm gonna. Do you know what? When this pod's over, I'm gonna watch a load of the content from there. There's loads of people on YouTube and Periscope putting their comments in, and there are people that I haven't seen before. So you're very welcome. Stay with us, subscribe, hit the icon, the bell icon, and you get our shows every time we go live. Kevin Sullivan says, looks like the quarter final for the League Cup is while we're at the Club World Championships. Oh, that's an interesting one. If anybody is the draw on tonight, lads? Damo, Indy?
Oh no, tomorrow morning.
Oh, tomorrow morning. Okay, the draw is on tomorrow morning, so we don't have to do a live draw update as we go. Queeveen Kelleher, says Stephen Mack. Can the boys say his name? Well, I say Queeveen Kelleher. I don't know how good, bad or indifferent that is, but I do say Petruccione really, really well. Keita was Porsche's Cop 80. I'm going to go on to a couple of players now, good, bad and indifferent. Jurgen's in a really happy mood, says Super Al. And Christina says, Lallana in the 6 training wheels not ready to come off yet. He looked goosed after about 65, 70, to be honest with you. But a couple of lads I want to talk to. Indy, I'll come to you first. Starting from the back, I don't think you can blame too much on Kelleher with regards to the goals. But just looking across that back line, you have Gomez and you have Milner. Milner gives one away to Arsenal. But look, other than that, he seemed fine. Joe Gomez, like Damo said, does need his hand held a slight bit when he's centre half. Done okay after an initial dodgy 25, I thought. But looking at Van der Berg, and he's very, very young and very raw. But the one I'd like to pick out at the back was Nico Williams. I thought he was brilliant from start to finish.
Yeah, I reckon he was brilliant too. But I mean, yeah, you can't really blame Kelleher for the goal. For the goals, he didn't do anything wrong. Milner, obviously, just one mistake, otherwise solid. But Van den Berg, when he started off, he looked pretty shaky. I mean, he's probably pretty nervous as well because it's his first start. But he was pretty solid at the end as well. And I thought if he just played again in the quarters, then that initial burst of adrenaline would be gone. When players get their first game, he'd be a lot more solid. And a lot of our other players would be like that. Harvey Elliott and stuff start settling in. They get used to each other. So I reckon we should play this team again and would be a lot more solid. Probably won't concede 5 again, even if we play a good team,
Yeah, absolutely. For me, the thing about Van den Berg was he's so young, he's so raw. It's his first proper game for Liverpool, let's be honest. He's come on for a couple of minutes here and there. But Damo, for me, it looked like he was trying to impress and he didn't want to hit a ball long when he probably should have at times, and then was hesitant and giving it to Arsenal a couple of times. But coming out on the right end of that Damo has to be good for him, regardless of a shaky start, you know what I mean? He stuck it in. He stuck in there. He really did from start to finish.
Do you know who he reminded me of? If anyone remembers when Daniel Agger made his debut for Liverpool, he looked like a deer caught in the headlights. He looked weak. He looked unconfident. And that's pretty much what Van den Berg looked like to me. He looked like a kid after being asked to step up. And he's only a boy. And he's playing again. And that fella who's playing up front for Arsenal, Martinelli, he's going to be a serious player. He's a good footballer. And he would have been severely tested by him tonight. And listen, he's going to make errors. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to learn his trade. What's he? 18, 19 years
17.
old?
He's 17.
Yeah.
The fella should be in bed, not playing football. He'll grow into his game. I said, if anyone remembers when Agger made his debut, it was the exact same. He was kind of, they look a little bit weak. They look a little bit like they're struggling. But for him to come out with a result tonight, that's going to do his confidence massive. And there was some good and there was some bad in his games. I was hearing you say there that you didn't think Kelleher was at fault for any of the goals. Not that I'd say he's at fault for any of them, but thought he was weak for the first 2. And I know Phil Casey, being a goalkeeper that he is, will be probably in agreement with me that both of them shots should have been pushed wide instead of back out into play. Like the second goal, he pushes back out into play, and when it's gone wide, do you know what I mean? So he's not flawless there, but again, he's just a kid. He's going to learn by that, and I'm sure that the goalkeeping coaches will be on him in the morning all about that. But Van den Berg, we go back to Van den Berg. Yeah, he'll learn massively from that tonight. And I say, if you put him beside another lad, Van Dijk, in a game, you'll see that kid come on even more and more,
Yeah, no, and Damo, just sticking with you, Nico Williams comes in at right back because, Trent's obviously not going to play there. I think if Larouci was fit, he may have played left back and put Milner right back, but Nico Williams comes in there, and I thought the young lad was outstanding all night.
I would say he was probably the best of our back 4.
I thought he was our best player.
Yeah.
No, genuinely, I do, because this is a lad that he's probably only 17 himself. He comes in at right back. He has a Joe Gomez there that's looking a little bit nervy for the start. He's another lad beside him that's inside that again, that's 17 years of age. You know what I mean? And I just thought he was brilliant. And then he has a 16-year-old playing on the wing beside him.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with you. Like, you wouldn't be far wrong saying he was our best player, but I think we might have had 1 or 2 better. But that's allowed. He's 17, but he didn't look out of place. He was very strong in the tackle, which I liked. I think there was the first half. He made a couple of crunching ones just on the edge of the halfway line in succession. And I said, Jesus, that's tasty from the young fella, And I love that bit of needle in players. And he looked confident on the ball. He wasn't done one-on-one at all, I don't think, all night. And he done his job quite well. Like, is that his debut tonight?
Yeah.
Jesus. If that's your debut, you've got to be very happy with that. Like, as you said, you could arguably say he was our best player on the night.
Yeah, like Kevin Sullivan says, Kelleher's distribution was excellent. He probably needs a loan next season to bring him on to the next level. Noel Tracy says Williams was excellent. Some of his close play with Elliott was top class. It really was. I thought they were very good for a combined age of about less than what I am. It was. I thought it was brilliant. Shergar 75 says 2 kids at the back. And had zero protection in front, and I thought they done absolutely brilliant. Christina French says he puts experience side by side to youth, and that's why you need Milner at left back. Yeah, he did. They did try to do that. They were just caught a little bit with experience when it came. Gomez is coming back and he's a little bit edgy. I get where that's coming from. I will get on to Brewster later on. Maverick says, I think Nico could make it if he continues to push on. Looks to have good ball control. He really, really does. But the big thing for me throughout this game was they never stopped trying. They never got their heads never went down. They never kind of, like 4-2 after whatever it was, 70 minutes, you're thinking, 4-2 early in the second half, and then going down 5-4 after 70 or whatever it was, and still come back and do what I thought was absolutely brilliant.
And an offside goal as well.
Absolutely.
That's important to remember, yeah.
Yeah, and their heads never went down. That's what I loved about it. Into the midfield, Indy, he plays Lallana, he plays Katie, he plays Oxlade-Chamberlain. Oxlade-Chamberlain tried all night. Effort was there all the time. Scores an absolute cracking goal. The only thing I will say is he's holding his hands up to the Arsenal fans. That needs to stop. If he scores at the Emirates later on in the season to win a game 1-0, he should be taking off his jersey, swinging over his head, and telling Arsenal to go fuck themselves. That's being honest with you. But overall in the midfield, Indy, I thought Lallana was neat and tidy, although he looked like he was flailing towards the end. Got caught a few times. I thought Keita was very poor though.
Yeah, I'm going to get slaughtered on Twitter for even mentioning Keita, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I thought he was poor, but what can you say? He got injured. I think it's a recurrence of the same injury, isn't it, that he's got before?
Did he go straight down the tunnel after he came off as well? So
straight down the tunnel. That's probably at least a month out, isn't it? Groin strain. Damn. That you got to say it's been a bit disappointing, and just as you thought he might break into the team. So the kind of debate was him versus Chamberlain, wasn't it, to get into that midfield alongside one of the more conservative midfielders, Hendo or Gini. So now it's just Chamberlain fighting for that role. So it's a lot more simple, the selection dilemma, I guess. I don't know what you thought of Chamberlain compared to Keita in the last few games they played, or last game. They only played one together. I don't know what you guys thought of it.
The one away in Genk, I thought Keita was a lot more involved. He had a lot more impact on the game. Despite Oxlade-Chamberlain scoring 2 goals, I thought in general play, Keita was probably the better player over the course of the game. But tonight I thought Chamberlain looked like Damo. I don't know if you agree. I thought Chamberlain tonight looked like he had that extra pep in his step. I don't know whether it was because he was playing his former club, but he looked like he had a bit of drive about him. He was trying to get down those channels. He was moving the ball quick. He gets a good goal. But I suppose, Damo, if Indy is right, and that could be a month out for Keita, Chamberlain really comes into focus now, doesn't he? Because as we've mentioned, the league games, you've an international break, then we're going away to the World Club Cup, we're coming back, we could have FA Cups, League Cups, Champions Leagues, it'll all be happening. It really focuses Chamberlain's role now, doesn't it?
It does indeed, but even regardless of Keita's injury tonight, I think Chamberlain's probably played himself ahead of Keita in that role. I think he's probably the slight favourite for that role at the minute. I'm saying that because, and again, I know what Indy's saying there, he's going to get slaughtered on Twitter for saying this, but how long are we going to put up with Keita? We're all waiting for this player that we've been told he is. Now, I didn't know a lot about him before he came in. I was kind of led with the hype. I didn't look into him, didn't know much about him. I just heard he was this top baller from Leipzig. I'm sorry, but I'm yet to see it. And I know that might sound harsh, but I'm waiting for him. I'm actually hoping for him to explode on the scene. But if he's out now for another month, we're now 18 months into his Liverpool career, heading into kind of his 2-year anniversary with the club, and we're yet to see anything to set us alight with him. And that's being honest with you. I don't know what he is. I don't know what he's trying to be, or if he's not finding the pace of the game in England. It's too fast for him or something. I don't know what is wrong. I'm watching him, and I'm looking at a player and I can't see where the hype has come around him. Now, I'm hoping I'm wrong, and I hope the fella eventually hits the ground running, gets over his injuries, and tears the place up. But at the moment, I can't see it, and I don't see where it's even coming from, or where it's gonna start. Am I right in saying that?
I'll be honest with you, like, because you didn't know much about him. I'm not going to say I watched tons of him. I watched a little bit of him, and then spoke to people I spoke to people for podcast purposes and different things at the time, because we were going to do things on transfers and when he was signed, all this sort of stuff. And I spoke to a couple of people that watched a lot of him and watched a lot of German football, and they raved about him, absolutely raved about him. Now I would be one of those people that would say to you, he needs time and stuff like that. All right, he's 15 months into his Liverpool career at this stage. He has been hampered by injury, but I know where you're coming from, Damo. You can have all the talent and ability in the world, but if you can't get on the pitch to show it, it's you can start losing credit that's in the bank very, very quickly. I think if Indy's right and that's another month out, I think it's a very, very big. It's a big blow to us squad wise, but it's a massive blow to him for his. I'm not going to say his Liverpool career is over, but it's a massive blow for him to then have to come back and start all over again. He doesn't seem to be able to get that run. I'd love to see 10 games where he's available and in and doing stuff, and then you can get a proper read on him. That kind of way. So that's where I feel like it. There's been a comment there about the difference in the two managers there. Tonight, Klopp thoroughly enjoying it. Unai Emery looked like a man that was literally fighting for his job there tonight. As substitutes to me told me that he was fighting for his job, but we'll have to wait and see. Hassan says, great game, but we need to recognise that Israel is not a legitimate state. We may do a podcast on that some other time. That's an amazing comment for a football podcast there. But well played, Hassan. You got it in there, and I read it out. I'm not going to get into Israel and Palestine and stuff like that, if that's okay with you. Barry Carr says Naby will be all right. A slight whiff of being rushed back. He might not be that badly injured either. We'll have to wait and see. Christina said at Leipzig he had acres of space to run forward and transition, but he doesn't get that here. No, he absolutely doesn't. Matty 6 times says Chamber looked as if his recent run had settled him. Not up in the head, chilled under pressure. Yeah, he was. He just looked slightly a bit different to me tonight, Chamberlain. He looked more back to the form he had before he got that injury. That's just the way I ask. Stephen Mack has found the caps lock button again, and he says, "Calm down, lads. He will come back. Naby will come good.
Here they are.
He needs
hate the fanboys.
But Stephen is a good friend of ours, and he has the caps lock button on constantly. Let me see. Right, where am I going to go? Yeah, so up front, Indy, I'll go to you first. You had Brewster, you had Elliott, and you had Origi. A mixed night for a few of them. I thought Brewster grew into the game. I thought do you know what? When he seemed to get annoyed that we were losing, I thought brilliant. He looked like he was snapping into stuff and he was harrying people, and it was brilliant like that. The kind of way. Elliott makes a mistake for one of the goals, but was bright overall. Really good on the ball. So that wasn't bad. And Origi, of course, Origi goes scoring goals. So we all love Divock Origi, but a decent night for the forward man, I thought.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of a mixed performance. I really like Elliott's kind of passion and drive. He looks like a Liverpool player, if you know what I mean. I mean, Origi, he's a bit of a weird one, isn't he? Because he looks like he's fantastic and cool and calm under pressure sometimes, but he looks detached other times. So he's less of a kind of Liverpool molded attacker than the others, I might get attacked for saying that, but he was good still. But yeah, Harvey Elliott, he's going to be insane. He's 16, isn't he?
Yeah.
Our youngest player.
Yeah.
Yeah. He became our youngest player today. And Brewster, again, mixed, I guess. I don't know what you guys think of Brewster. I'll ask you first because I don't want to.
I'll give it the first to Damo, but Max on YouTube has a good point, and he says, I'm terrified Lallana is one Cruyff turn away from falling through an interdimensional portal and never to be seen again.
Every time.
So, yeah. it could be a problem. Damo, Brewster, for you, what do you make of him? Because I just look at him and I think he's a goal poacher, and we're going to have to try play in that way. But Damo, what do you make of
him? First thing we'll say about him, let's not remember he's just recovering from a horrific injury as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to take him a little bit of time to. Well, it's going to take him probably more time to get up to the pace of the game because he hasn't really played any senior football. At least the other lads that have had long-term injuries, they've played at that level and they know the level you need to go back to. But Brewster hasn't. He's going from a youth setup into senior ball after a really bad injury. And so we've got to give him that bit. But I think the one thing I've been slightly underwhelmed by him because he has this hype around him. And I think the problem, and I think I said it in our WhatsApp group earlier on, I don't see where his goal threat is. And I just fear he's going to fall into the bracket of a Meller type of player, where he's Willem Walker. He'd break, he would close down fullback, centre halves, the whole lot. Or has he got the natural movements to get himself a yard of space? And that's what I haven't seen so far in the games that he's played. I don't see where he's created a yard for himself, or he's created by a certain bit of movement. Now, I could probably be proved wrong, and someone will find some of that, but I just feel like he's more huff and puff at the minute than he is. And maybe that'll come with time, and it'll come with getting more games and learning from other lads around him. But at the moment, he just seems to be lacking that goal scorer instinct.
Yeah, you see, I know where you're coming from, Damo, but you know what? When I look at, do you know what I'd love to see him in? I'd love to see him in a game where Liverpool are 2-0 up. Say 2-0, 3-0 up, and they're really on top of a team, and they're penned in, and, you know, we're moving it around, and the likes of Robertson and Trent are putting balls across the box and stuff. I'd just love to see him get 20 minutes of that, to see if what I think of him is true, where I think he'd be all over things like that. Do you know what I mean? And maybe he starts to develop from then. I do, Damo. I do see difficulties in putting him into our first team as it stands in games where we mightn't be all over people and we have to he has to link play and stuff like that. I see your concerns there. I agree with them.
Can I make a quick point on that?
Yeah. I don't think they really have found the niche there for him yet, or he's found his own niche of what he actually is. Like, I think he's the type of player that looks like he's bags of pace. He's got plenty of strength and power about him. And he might have got away with that at youth level and under 21 level, wherever he was playing at. But now stepping up into the senior game, he might need to develop his overall game a little bit more.
And he will, Damo, but as you said, he's coming back from a horrific injury. Like, you're being called a party pooper here, Damo, like, you know what I mean? And I don't think that's fair on Damo. He loves a party. But no, I do know where you're coming from, but like, having said that, he is coming back from that injury. He is finding himself. He's in that squad now. I know he was in around the last year, but he's really in it this year, and he will have to learn and develop. But at such a young age, you have to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I'll tell you, Gav, there's a guy, he's a big pod listener, Wayne, out there, and he was saying earlier on, for Brewster to push on, he needs to be doing what Martinelli's doing at Arsenal. Okay. He needs to be scoring when he's got his chance, and he's not. Like, we scored 5 tonight, and I don't think he had a shot on target. So for him to push on to another level for Brewster, he needs to be doing what Martinelli's doing there now. Like, all the good young strikers in the world, when they've got that chance, they've scored. There's just Rashford's on the telly there in the background. When Rashford got his chance at United, he scored. And what happens when you start scoring goals? You become then. You can't be left out because people want you in the team more. But at the moment, like, if someone said to me, like, I wouldn't have Brewster near the first game of a Premier League game, or
I would in certain games. I would. I'll put it to you this way: if we were playing, I don't know, pick a team.
Villa.
If we were playing Villa at home and we know we're going to go out and beat them, I'd have them there for 20 minutes at the end to give them a right go. And what I'd do is I'd probably try to keep the 3 main lads on the pitch while he comes on and see what we can do around him just to see where he goes. Christina says Martinelli is getting Europa League games, and his goals tonight were poachers' goals as well. It's something that I just don't think Brewster's got those chances where it's flashed across goal and he's on it. We haven't really set up goals like that. But look, look, they're all lads for the future, and some of them have showed brilliant flashes, some of them haven't. The last one I'm going to talk to before we get on to the penalties and stuff like that is Indy is Curtis Jones. Now, Curtis Jones has been around a couple of pre-season tours. I think he's captain of the under-23s, I think. He really impresses at that level. But that tonight is the first time I've watched Curtis Jones and thought, yeah, really confident, eye for a pass, aggressive. I really liked what I've seen tonight from him.
Yeah, that guy's the one I'm most excited about. Sorry, just my voice broke. He's the most fluid on the ball out of all of our players, if you know what I mean. The kind of dynamic aspect that even Keita, that's the thing that fans love about him the most, is that dynamic aspect in midfield, just like pushing it forward nice and quick, tight dribbling. He's just got that, and he just looks just dangerous every time he's on the ball. So I love watching that guy. Honestly, I reckon he's gonna come good.
I think do you know what? It really is the first time tonight that I thought there's something about him. Like other nights, I seen him away at MK Dons, and he was quite good, but not stand out like Elliot was. But tonight I thought he was really good. He really improved us. He really improved us when he came on, I thought. Just to let you know, I think it's Riley told us on YouTube that Arsenal Fan TV is having an absolute meltdown, which you will find on their YouTube channel, and I'm sure I'm going to make a cup of tea after this and see as much content as I possibly can. 6-star Red Emmett says Brewster a different player to the starting front three, so hard to fit him into the system. Yeah, but he's going to have to develop, and he's going to have to see how he gets on. Northred says all great future prospects. Damo, you're going in the bin regarding Brewster, says Stephen Mack, who still has the caps lock turned on. I'm going to have to put a ban on Stephen if he doesn't turn those caps lock off. Kevin O'Sullivan says the pass into Divock was a hard pass. Ignore the easy ball out wide. Very impressed. Yeah, I really like that. But Damo, cop end, last gasp equaliser, penalties. You have a really young fella in goal. You have a couple of young lads that come up to take penalties as well. Not only the win, but how big is it, Damo, to win a penalty shootout at the cop end at that stage of your career? When you look at Curtis Jones, you look at Quivon Kelleher, Brewster takes a penalty. I can't even remember who takes the other ones. I know Milner, Lallana, Origi take the other three. But how big is it for them lads to know that at the end of that penalty shootout at the cop end they've gone and done this?
It's just a dream come true kind of stuff, isn't it? Like it's what them players have dreamed about their whole life, I'm sure. To score the winner or save the penalty in front of the cop, that's going to be massive for them kids. And what they've got tonight from that game is going to stand them so well for the future, and it's only going to make them better players. And I think if you're looking at the kids that played tonight, any other year you see a Carabao Cup team, Liverpool team, you say maybe one will make it out of that. You could be possibly looking at 4 or 5 out of the current crop of kids that we have there of becoming our first teamers in the next couple of years if they stick it out, And that's tonight is just, it's phenomenal for any young player to get that, I think, tonight. And when it was 5-4, I was really disappointed for them, more so than myself watching it as a fan, because I was hoping for them they would get something out of it, because it means so much for their development going forward. Yeah,
it absolutely does. And Kev O'Sullivan says there, Carragher said for these kids this is the biggest night of their careers today. It absolutely is. I was delighted for the lads taking the penalties, but I was really delighted for the goalkeeper. He was very close to a couple of their penalties, and although the penalty from Cabios or Ceballos or whatever way it's said it's a decent height, but it still has to be made. He still has to go the right way, and he still has to get a strong hand to it. Lads, I'm going to have to ask you for man of the match before we leave. Indy, I'll go with you first.
Chamberlain. What a goal. Yeah,
cracker. And when he scores it, his face is like, Jesus, did I just do that?
He should have celebrated, like you said. He should have done Adebayor, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't think you can give him man of the match for after he starts apologising to Arsenal fans. That needs to be stopped. Dunno says Ceballos is rattled by Anfield. I knew he'd miss. You know what? I thought the exact same thing, Dunno. I really, really did. Stephen Mack is asking to be banned because he has caps lock on. I'm never going to ban you, Stephen. I love you too much. Kev O'Sullivan has Williams down as man of the match. Emmett says all our pens tonight were top notch. Only one keeper went the right way, was Jones's. Yeah, they were really, really good. Maverick has Origi man of the match, so does Nord Red. Damo, who's your man of the match?
I was going to give it to my best mate, Divock. Because now me and him are best mates now.
Yeah, I know that, yeah.
He was excellent tonight. I love the man, and I love the fact that he's going around breaking clubs and absolutely destroying clubs. Don't be surprised to see Arsenal get free ball like Barcelona and Spurs have done since he fucked them up with mad last minute goals and the whole lot. But I have to give it to Williams because he's a young boy. He stepped in, made his debut, didn't put a foot wrong, and I think purely for that reason, you'd have to give it to the kid.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you because when you look through that team, although you have Kelleher who played against MK Dons, you have Van der Berg that's been in around the place and come on for one or two substitute appearances. I think, you know, you have Curtis Jones, you have Harvey Elliott, you have Brewster, you have all these different players. I thought for Nico Williams to come in there and do what he done tonight was just sensational is the word I'd use, and that may sound like I'm going over the top, but to watch this young lad come in and straight from the start, confident on it, turning away from players, trying to play 1-2s down the line, trying to get to the byline. You know, he gets, for that fifth goal, he's involved and gets to the byline brilliantly, and it's a great cutback. I think he's a standout player for me tonight, Nico Williams. Just to let you know, people, we are going to have a competition through November for YouTube subscribers. So if you're watching this and you aren't a subscriber, subscribe because it automatically gets you into a chance to win a prize through November. If from the 1st of November, then I will have a list of subscribers. You will all be in a draw. Any new subscribers from the 1st of November to the 30th of November, they will also go into a draw. But there's a catch. If you are a subscriber to this show and you recommend this show to somebody and they tell me you've recommended them, the person that you both get 2 entrants into the competition. It's quite, I've made this up in my head. It sounded very simple. It's possibly not. I'll try to take 5 minutes to explain it to you all another time. But listen, basically, get subscribed to the channel and you're in with chances to win a competition throughout the month of November. What else have I got? That's about it, I think. I have nothing else at the moment. I have a few bits coming up next week that I want to talk to you about. And, of course, I'll get on there and get your opinion. And you're great people for giving me opinions and giving me ideas as well. So that's what we'll do. Damo, thanks a million for joining us tonight.
Oh, what up?
Indy, thanks a million for joining us. I'll talk to you soon.
Cheers.
That's it. That's the Fatback 4 Daily. What a night for Liverpool. What a night for Liverpool's youngsters. It's been amazing. They've won. They've come back from the death about 3 times there tonight. Managed to get a 5-5 draw at Anfield against Arsenal and go on to win 5-4 on penalties. Mentality monsters from the top to the bottom of this club. We just don't give up. Them kids are all right. Over and out.